Good morning, everyone. Reporting live from California. Um, More specifically, Catalina Island. Um, so, so we start off the day by talking about the Miami Dolphins that happened yesterday, and I just lost connection. Great. Hopefully, it comes back while I talk to you guys. So yeah, Miami Dolphins coming off with a rough loss against Buffalo Bills, and they needed to have a rebound win against the New York Giants. It was a perfect chance to do so, and they did just that. So as the service here crashed, um, there we go. I got it back. Um, we can start talking about it now. So it's New York Giants versus the Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium, and we needed a rebound win against a pretty beat up Giants team. Their offensive lineman has been short staffed. It seems like the defense is not great at all, and they hardly got points through any games, especially on prime time. So this was a perfect opportunity to capitalize on it. So we start off the game with the Giants getting the first possession of the game. So the Giants starts off with Breda going up for 6 yards. So it's 2nd and 4. Daniel Jones goes up the middle for Hodgins. So that's for 15 yards there. 1st and 10, Breda for left, no gain. 2nd and 10, Breda again, just this time for 3 yards. 3rd down, pass complete to Robinson for 2 yards, and that's not enough for the first, so it's 4th down. Giants punt. So Dolphins tries to get one going. So here we go. The fastest offense team we have ever, pretty much since the St. Louis Rams 2000. Not because of the fast receiving, but the stat that they talked about in the game. All right, so we start off with Davon Achane. Start off with a 24-yard rush. 24 yards already. Tua pass short to Tyreek Hill for 6 yards. 2nd and 4, pass short for Waddle for 20 yards. That's good for a first. Pass to Cedric Wilson for 23 yards. That goes to New York's 16. 1st and 10 already. Pass complete to Raheem Mostert for 5 yards. And then fumbles it out of bounds. Yeah, he fumbled the ball, but the ball went out of bounds anyway. So that's a few yards there. So yeah, that was a scary moment. Thank gosh. Thank gosh. Honestly, it would have been scary and pretty distraughting and concerning if that happened here. Anyway, 2nd and 5, pass complete to Tyreek Hill for 9 yards. Awesome stuff. All right, 1st and 2, 1st and goal actually. Pass incomplete to Waddle, and I think it was McKinney that almost had it, but the ball was overthrown to him, and then there was a coverage there. So 2nd and goal, pass again, tried again for Jalen Waddle. This time was tightly covered as well, but he jumps up and picks the ball anyway. Touchdown Dolphins, and Jason Sanders' PAT is good, so we right away lead it 7-0. So what does the Giants have to respond here? So Gray with 5-yard rush. 2nd and 5. Gray ran for 21 yards, but that play was nullified because there was an offensive hold on Bredesen, who is a backup for the Giants guard. So that's a 10-yard penalty. So it's a 2nd and 12. Daniel Jones pass complete to Sherlin Shepard for 13 yards. 1st down. Robinson for 1 yard. 2nd and 9. Gray for 8 yards. 3rd and 1. Daniel Jones up the middle for 2. That's good for 1st down. 1st and 10. Daniel Jones is sacked for 0 yards. So like he got tackled on the line of scrimmage. Where am I? Oh, there I am. 2nd and 10. Gray up the middle for 4 yards. Bredesen was injured during the play, so hopefully he's okay. Third and 6, Daniel Jones passed off the middle for Darius Slayton for 15 yards. That was just a blown coverage there for the Dolphins. And then Slayton also got hurt, but I think he was able to come back later in the game. His injury was questionable. First and 10, Daniel Jones short pass to Waller for 4 yards. Second and 6, Gray up for -1. So good tackle there by Settler and Kohu. Third and 7, Daniel Jones sacked for the second time. This time it was sacked split by Christian Wilkins and Agba. So that ends the first quarter. That we would have won the game if it was a fourth quarter. So Gano with the 55-yard field goal, he kicks us up, and that ball was wide. So that ball goes far our right, but that for them it's left. Point is, they missed the field goal. The field goal was missed. Not good for the Giants. So, missed the field goal, so we need to capitalize on it. Then it's our turn. So, Raheem Mostert rushed for 5 yards. Second and 5, Mostert again with 2 yards. Third and 3, pass short to Tyreek Hill for 5 yards. So, good stuff there. First and 10, Achane rushed for 8 yards. However, McKinney forces the fumble and recovered by the Giants. So for Achane, Achane freaking fumbles the football. So that's a big mistake there, and that gets good field position for the Giants, because they start at their 40. No, they start at the 38, but it's still pretty good in their own zone. I'm gonna lower it. That's just the announcement saying, hey, we're ready to get off the boat. Anyway, Daniel Jones passed short left to Robinson for 4 yards loss. Good tackle play by Kohu, who had a rough game last week. Second and 14, pass short left for Waller for 11 yards. Good thing that was a 4-yard loss there. Tackled by Eli Apple, former Giant. Timeout was called by New York. I think play clock was an issue. And then Daniel Jones was sacked for 0 yards. Split sack by Baker and Eli Apple. On 4th and 3, they went for a punt. But this was a confusing punt, because the referees called too many men on the field against the Dolphins, and even though there actually wasn't 12 men on the field, so what does Mike McDaniel do? He actually, I don't know, you can challenge the call. You can challenge that kind of penalty call, and they went for a long review, and it was determined that there was actually 11 men on the field. And then by the time the 11th guy left, there was 10 men on the field. So there wasn't too many guys. There was too many little. Like, actually, that's a poor choice of words. There was a smaller crowd on the defense. Actually, I don't know the saying. Anyway, the call was reversed. We get the ball back, and we made them pay big time. Here's what happened. Here's exactly what happened. Tua pass incomplete. Okay. That's not what I wanted to tell. Tua Tagovailoa, short pass up for Tyreek Hill. That's good for 18 yards, playing good for the first down. Achane has the ball and then ran it all the way to the house for 76 yards for a touchdown. 76 yards. He's a beast. I swear to you. He made up for that fumble, and he took it personally, and then he made a big time. 76 yards. Is that chain. Beautiful stuff. PAT is good, 14-0. Giants turn. When they started at 25, Daniel Jones incomplete to Slayton. Incomplete again. This time 3rd and 10 complete for 21 yards. That would have been a perfect 3-and-out there, but that did not happen. Great. No gain there. 2nd and 10. Great for 3 yards. I apologize. I'm still awake. 3rd and 7, incomplete short pass for Robinson. Penalty on Christian Wilkins for defensive offside, so that enforces the play. So it's 3rd and 2. No first down there. Breda up the middle, tackled by Bradley Chubb, and McKinnon was hurt. His return was probable. Then it was 4th down. Daniel Jones decided to take it in himself, and then it was really close. However, it did not matter because it was a penalty on the defense, which was Howard, for illegal substitution. So there was no play. Great. All right. Anyway, 1st and 10. Daniel Jones pass up short for Robinson for 6 yards. 2nd and 4. Penalty on the Giants for false start. So 2nd and 9. Another penalty on the Giants. Same guy. I think it was Eduardo. I forgot his name. I think it was Eduardo for getting 2 false starts in a row. 2nd and 14 now. Pass up the middle. Actually, no. Daniel Jones actually ran up the middle for 5 yards himself. 3rd and 9. Pass up for Waller for 13 yards. So of course the defense did not capitalize on 2 false starts, and that did not happen. 1st and 10. Passing complete. 2nd and 10. Grabbed the middle for 1 yard. 3rd and 9. Jones was sacked by Zeller, and that was great. 4th and 15. Jano tries a field goal again. This time it was good for 49 yards, so Giants gets on the board. It's now 14-3 at that point. Next up, the Dolphins turn. So right away we start with the penalty and the false start by Wynn. Tua passes up the middle for Tyreek to right actually for Tyreek Hill for 64 yards. 64 yards. So great start there for that possession. 1st and 10, I chain for 12 yards, so we're at the Giants 4 right away. I chain up the middle for 4, at the middle for no gain. 2-minute warning, pass incomplete for Waddle. And then they did something I never thought they would do, but despite with the good offense we have. Giants picks off Tua. I think it was Okiriki. And no, it was not Okiriki. It was Pinnock. Pinnock picks off Tua at the end zone, and he runs it all the way to the touchdown. So it was a 102-yard pick six by the Giants. Wow, that's just something you just don't hear about every single time. Only the Dolphins, man. Only the Dolphins would do such a thing like that, and only the Dolphins would allow the Giants to get their first half touchdown of the season. Only them, right? So the extra point's good, and next thing you realize, it was 10-14. But the Dolphins did make up for it somewhat. Tua pass short right to Berrios for 13 yards. 1st and 10, pass short to Cedric Wilson for 13 yards. Timeout Miami to try to get up there for a score. They're throwing the ball again. So Tua taking it personally from the interception. Tua pass short for Waddle for 1 yard. Second and 9, there was no huddle shotgun. Pass up for Jalen Waddle for 12 yards. 1st and 10, no huddle there. Pass complete to Cedric Wilson for 10 yards. And then they call their second timeout. And they try again. Pass, and the Tua was sacked. Loss of 6. And then Miami calls their final timeout. And next they realize the Giants called their next timeout. Tua scrambles for 7 yards. So good scramble there. And then Tua spiked the ball to stop the clock. So good idea there. That allows Jason Sanders to kick a field goal from 40 yards. And he did. So we're up 17 to 10 at that point. And we end the second quarter with a pretty okay note. This game gone closer than it should be. So we start the third quarter. With this. Tua incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 pass short to Cedric Wilson for 6 yards. 3rd and 4 pass deep right for Tyreek Hill, and he's gone. He's gone. He is gone. 69 yards, nice, to the house. And there was a penalty for taunting on Hill. I mean, that's just weak. No fun league. But anyway, Touchdown was enforced, 24-10, because PAT is good. Just completely blown coverage from the Giants, and Tyreek Hill being one of the fastest receivers in the league, and it just takes it to the house. Insane play. All right, next up, Daniel Jones starts off with 6 yards rush for himself. 2nd and 4, pass complete to Waller for 6 yards. 1st and 10, pass up the middle for Breida for 3 yards. 2nd and 7, Breida for 1 yard. 3rd and 6, Daniel Jones scrambles for 11 yards. That's good for the first appeared reported as eligible. Daniel Jones was sacked. So he was sacked again. 2nd and 10. Gray up the middle for 3 yards. He fumbles it, but then recovers by Oswaldo. So nothing crazy happening there. And then 3rd and 6, Daniel Jones incomplete. The Giants forced the punt. Then it's Miami's turn. Mostert up the left for 39 yards. Penalty. However, that was nullified because there was a penalty on Connor Williams, so that rush did not count. I was pretty upset. Although our chain makes up for it, makes it 12 yards, and that's good for the first. Tua passed short left for Tyreek Hill for 6 yards. 2nd and 4, Barrios for no gain. 3rd and 4, Tua pass intended for Jalen Waddle, and then it was intercepted. Tua's second pick. Wow. Already through his second pick of the game, as far as I know. Yeah, that was his second pick. So that was not fun, because that gives Giants a really perfect chance opportunity there, because it starts off at the Miami 30. It was Okirky. And that rush in gains back for 7 yards. Just a bad play, bad pass, and everything. And Waddle was tightly covered, so you gotta make some plan B. 1st and 10, Gray lost a yard. 2nd 11, Breida up the middle for 8 yards. 3rd and 3, Breida up the middle for 2 yards. That would not be good for first anyway. However, penalty was on Mayfield Giants for offensive hold. And they accepted the penalty. Actually, it was enforced, so never mind. So 3rd and 13, Daniel Jones at the left for Robinson for 7 yards, so nothing there. And Giants only settle for a field goal. So, okay, not bad. Not bad. So right now it's 24-13. Next possession is the Dolphins. Near the end of the third quarter, Achane ran for 8 yards. 2nd and 6, Tua short pass up for Achane for 14 yards, so good play there. Raheem Mostert for 11 yards, first down again. Mostert for 23 yards. So you know about this Dolphins offense, the running game is for real. With two of the fast receivers like Mostert and Achane, and not to mention the right receiving core is really brilliant. The only thing that's really concerning about this team is the offensive line. That's just really the big part. And the defense here and there, but that's ups and downs for everything. But anyway, 1st and 10, Achane up for 6 yards. 2nd and 4, Achane for 5 more yards. That's good for the first. Mostert up for 6 yards, so he was just close. And Dolphins decide to at that point just make a play at the end of the third quarter, and they did. Mostert gets a touchdown, and the PAT is good. We are up 31-13. So good rushing plays for the Miami's run game. And at that point, I believe we were already over 500 yards in offensive yards. Over 500 in the game. It's insane. All right, we start the fourth quarter, because that's the end of the third quarter. We start the fourth quarter with the 3 and out by the Giants. Daniel Jones complete pass to Bellinger for 7 yards, and the rest he just incomplete pass for Slayton, and Kohu was involved in that. So good plays there. Although the Dolphins suffered after that a 3 and out. a chain up the middle for 2 yards, a chain up the middle for 1. Timeout was taken. And then Tua incomplete to Waddle. So nothing happened there. So it's a 3-and-out as well. Giants, next. Daniel Jones sacked for 7 yards. And that actually, I think that was the 6th sack of the game for Daniel Jones. I think. So, that actually hurted Daniel Jones. He got injured on the play. His return was questionable. I feel bad for the Giants because the Giants offense was getting beat up left and right, and really they didn't have any chance against the Miami's defense and the Miami's offense that's just too good. So Tyrod Taylor had to come in for him. So Taylor passed up to Waller for 9 yards. So 3rd and 8, incomplete. That forced a 4th down, and they elected to go for it. And Tyrod Taylor scrambles for 9 yards, and he gets a 1st down. Tyrod Taylor is one of those fast quarterbacks as well. It's one of those scrambler types. You see, it's like the Lamar Jackson type quarterbacks. You understand what I mean. Anyway, no huddle, 1st and 10. Breda up the left for 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Pass up the middle for Robinson for 7 yards. Robinson was injured during the play. His return was probable. 1st down. Tyrod Taylor incomplete. 2nd and 10. Gray up the middle for loss of 1. 3rd and 11. Tyrod Taylor was sacked for 3 yards. And they actually kicked a field goal for 51 yards, so not bad there. And then they kicked it for 51 yards, so that was a little bit better than the 55 that they had earlier that they missed. And that would make it 31-16. Dolphins go 3-and-out again. Mostert up for 5 yards. Tua pass for 4 yards for Hill. And no gain for Waddle. So they go 3-and-out. And Bailey punts for 49 yards. Then the Giants had a long possession. Tyrod Taylor, incomplete, penalty on the Giants. That would be an offensive hold. No play. Tyrod Taylor, short pass for Campbell for 17 yards. So he was close to the first. 2nd and 1, pass short left for Campbell again for 6. That's good for the first. Penalty on the Giants for false starts. So 1st and 15. Tyrod Taylor for Gray for 1 yard. 2nd and 14, pass short for Waller for 15 yards. So great play there by the Giants. But the Dolphins defense, that worries me when you give up that many yards that many times. 1st and 10, pass up for Waller for 7 yards. 2nd and 3 at the midfield, incomplete for Sterling Shepard. 3rd and 3, Gray up for 1 yard. That's 4th down. And then Taylor gets sacked for 13 yards. However, there was illegal contact from Xavier Howard. That extends the drive. That would have perfectly ended the game right there. We would have taken a knee early, but the Giants drive continues. Breda goes up the middle for 2 yards, but he actually gets tackled behind it. So good play there by Davis and Chubb. 2nd and 12, Tyrod Taylor pass for Taylor Slayton, so he comes back, like I said earlier, for 20 yards, and that's playing good for a 1st down. 1st and 10, Tyrod Taylor pass for Hodgins for 4 yards. We didn't hear his name much. 2nd and 6, Tyrod Taylor scrambles up for 3 yards. That takes a 2-minute warning. 3rd and 3, Breda up the right for no gain. And then it's 4th and 3. So they still have some clock left to try and make this comeback like they did against Arizona. So I didn't worry so much about it, but I had to worry. I had to take it with a grain of salt with the lead anyway, because as we know in sports nowadays, no lead is safe. So 4th and 3, Tyrod Taylor scrambles up in the middle. He literally tried to get up to the 1st down, but Andrew Van Ginkel with the great tackle, and that's the ball game. And then Dolphins take over, and all they need to do is run down the clock because Giants were going to was going to call a couple of timeouts, and so what they needed to do, they needed to get this 1st down. So what does this happen? What happened here? Mostert goes up for 1 yard. Okay, Giants called first timeout. Mostert for 3 yards. Giants call second timeout. 3rd and 6 now. They elected to pass. They elected to pass to Mostert. I'm like, why? Just punt the ball up to the other side. But Tua passed to Mostert for 8 yards, and that's good for the first. Wow. That was a pretty big play call, and they got it. They got the first down, and Giants will not call their last timeout because that's it. There's nothing that they can do. And then Tua takes a knee. That's it. That's it. We beat the Giants 16-31. Pretty good bounce back win. And I think for the first time in our franchise history, we have a win streak against the Giants. We won the game. We beat them in 2021, and we beat them here 2 games in a row against the Giants. I think that's never happened before. And this is the first 4-1 start since 2003. 2003 was the last one. And the amount of yards, and I'm going to talk about the yards right now, just so I can make a point. Total yards for this game, 524. With that in mind, with the possession and total offensive yards, they compared us to the 2000 St. Louis Rams. Not the Los Angeles Rams, St. Louis Rams. And that team won a Super Bowl. But you take the stats with a grain of salt because every team is different. You can have the best offensive team and still don't make the championship. And you don't have a good season. But in this case, they did just that. All right, so we go to the team stats before I head out to go to the island. So Tua, 22 catch, 22 out of 30, 308 yards total for him, with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And he's only sacked once. He's only sacked once in this. So pretty good day despite that long pick 6. That was annoying. For Daniel Jones, 14 out of 20 with 119 yards. No touchdowns for him and no interceptions for him. The only touchdown that the Giants had was that pick 6, like I just said. That was annoying. And he got sacked about 6 times. And last week he was sacked 11. This time he was sacked 6, and that last sack he got hurt. Let's hope he's okay. And then Tyrod Taylor had to step in, 9 out of 12, 86 yards. So he didn't do really bad in a short time, but he did get sacked once, and he didn't make the first down to try to extend that drive. All right, so New York's rushing, Eric Gray, 12 carries, 25 yards. That was his 8 long. Daniel Jones himself, 24 yards. Breda for 9 for 21. Tyrod Taylor for himself, 14 yards, and Robinson with just 1 yard. Miami's rushing, on the other hand, there's no stopping the duo of Achane and Mostert because 11 carries for Achane, 151 yards, and he scores a touchdown, especially that long 76 yards that he had. He's a future franchise running back. He's the future. There's any running back that we want to keep for a long term, it's this guy. Dolphins made a great pick in this last draft. Mostert, he does get a pretty good yards with 65 yards in today, and he did score a touchdown at the end of that third quarter. And then Tua scrambles twice, and then he has 6 yards. His long was 7, but I think there was that one time where he got sacked. So yeah, pretty good. Excuse me. New York's receiving, though. Darren Waller with 86 yards with 8 receptions, so pretty good for him. His long was 21. Darius Slayton, only 2. His majority of the time he was hurt, but he did get 35. Paris Campbell, 23 yards with 2 receptions. Isaiah Hodgins, 2 receptions and 19 yards in total. Wan'Dale Robinson, 5 receptions and 18 yards. Sterling Shepard, just one reception with 13 yards. Daniel Bellinger, with 7 yards, Breda with 3 yards, and Eric Gray with 1 yard, and all those names I just mentioned recently, they were just one. So Waller was definitely a big target there and especially since Waller is I believe he's a tight end. Yeah, he's a tight end, so that makes sense. All right, Miami's receiving. We didn't use any tight ends today. Durham Smythe was not involved. However, our fast receiving core and even the guy we hardly hear, Cedric Wilson, was involved. So Tyreek Hill, 8 receptions, 181 yards today, and a touchdown for 69 long. Cedric Wilson, 4 receptions, 52 yards. No touchdown him, but his long was 23, so good play. Jalen Waddle, we heard about this duo, this trio last season, and then this time they both scored a touchdown. So really good stat. And then Jalen Waddle gets the touchdown pass for this game. 5 receptions and 35 yards. Achane with just 1 reception, 14 yards. Okay, he was more of a running guy. Most are the same thing. And Berrios too. Berrios gets a couple of receptions and with 13 yards, just like Mostert did. Fumbles. Eric Gray fumbled the football. And they picked it up. Azuedo picks up the fumble from a chain. Was it a chain or was it Mostert? I think it was a chain. It was that chain. It was that chain. Yeah, that chain lost a fumble there. It was picked up by Azuedo, and then the Bulldogs actually picks up the fumble but lost it at the same time. So Giants' fumble was pretty good. Fumbling team was pretty good. Not like the Dolphins, but at least with Mostert they did pick up. They did go out of bounds. So it was a pretty scary moment. But anyway, the defense. I mean the defense was really good for the Dolphins for the most part, except for the time where the long parts yards. But they did not. The defense did not give up a touchdown. Tua gave up a touchdown. So that was a scary thought. That was an absolute scary thought there. But it did happen. And Tua was picked off twice. Pinnock picks off Tua for 102 yards. That was that pick 6 I just mentioned. And a Bobby Okereke with 7 yards. But that possession only ended in a field goal. And the sacks. Eli Apple with the half sack. Baker with the sack and a half. Sellier with 2 sacks himself. Christian Wilkins with the half sack. Van Giegel with the sack. And Agba with the sack and a half. In total, 7 sacks. Good stuff there. And for the Giants, just one sack, and it was the Bulldogs with just 1 against Tua. Everything else, pretty good defense. Kick returns, Berrios with just 25 on the long, and then so was Eric Gray. And the kicking, 1 field goal, along with Graham Jano with 3 for 4 with that missed 55 yards. And the punting, I don't need to talk about the punting. Now for the team stats, before I go, because it's already a long video. Jeez, I didn't realize how long it was. The team stats, 524 in total yards for the Dolphins, 226 for the Giants. Total drives, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say the number. You could do your research to know what I'm saying. But anyway, 302 passing for the Dolphins, 183 for the Giants. And rushing 222 yards from the rushing for the Dolphins and 85 rushing for the Giants. So 222 plus 302 is 524. And Dolphins committed 3 turnovers and Giants did not. And then the special teams, the defense and everything. I already talked about that. And for the Dolphins, they're 4-1 and they take the AFC lead again because Buffalo lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. And for the Giants, they fall down to 1-4, and they're at the bottom of the NFC East. It's just really sad to see with the Giants. That's what's going on. Hopefully they get better in the future, and I hope we meet again for a more competitive game. But anyway, there you go. That's gonna do it for this video. I'm gonna go and upload this video, and I'm all caught up. Coming up next for these in a couple of days. I don't know if it's tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm gonna do a Florida Panthers season preview, not review. I'm not gonna do predictions because that'll just take too long. I'm gonna talk about my pointers, and then yeah, folks, this is Miami TVG. I hope you liked this video and the game. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe more content because Miami TVG has your back, and when he does, he'll be right there to give you the entertainment you deserve. This is Miami TVG reporting live from California, saying sign off, folks. Good night, everybody.